The Axial Black Projector Dual Halo LED headlights are a good choice for any 10 to 12 GT or V6 Mustang owner who might be looking to pick up a more modern, custom styling with a Halo style headlight. This is unique in the fact that it's got two LED halos off-centered in the black housing. The installation isn't too hard, but it does require some splicing for the wires, so I'm still giving it 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, which our guys in the shop will walk you through later on. First things first here, these headlights completely change the front end styling of your S197. The stock headlights aren't bad, but they don't really satisfy the need to make your Mustang stand out. The Axial pair here switches it all up and adds a more aggressive design with a modern spin. The two LED halos light up with your daytime running lights, high and low beam lights separated into 2 different bulb housings, one dead center and the other on the upper inside corner toward the grille. Now the entire housing inside is black to give you the impression of a smoked headlight without actually hindering any light output. The lens here stays clear, so 100% of the light gets through to light up that road. The kit here from Axial includes a set of 4 H1 bulbs and 2 amber turn signals, as well as the quick splice connectors to get the job done. Now the integrated halos and LED accents do a great job of giving you better visibility, especially at night, than the factory setup. Now styling gets a huge change, but you're also getting an upgrade in safety as well. If you're interested in picking them up for yourself, expect to be spending just under the $300 mark for the pair, which I don't think is too bad considering the big change in appearance. I do want to point out that these only work with Mustangs that are not equipped with factory HID lighting. If you do have factory HIDs, you will need to pick up the kit that is specifically made to your setup, which you can also find on the site. The installation, again, not a huge pain in the butt, but there's some splicing involved to get the wiring situated. You want to have basic hand tools on deck like a ratchet and socket set and maybe some needle nose pliers. It'll take you about an hour or so from start to finish, and I'm still giving it 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. We have an S197 pulled into our shop, so let's head over there to see how it gets done.
We'll begin this installation by removing the lower splash shield using a 7mm socket to remove these bolts. You have 4 screws on the front bottom side of the bumper, and there's 5 underneath. Now once you have all the screws out, we're just going to pry it down on the back side, and then we'll pull it off just like that. We're going to remove this sensor. Just pry that out of the bumper. And then we're going to remove the 2 corner lights. To remove these lights, just twist. They'll unlock, and then you can pull them out. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Twist counterclockwise. It'll unlock, pull out, and let it hang. Next, we're going to use a 7mm wrench to remove these 2 bolts. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Now that we've lowered the vehicle down and we've opened the hood, we're going to go ahead and pull these 4 push pins out, remove these 2 bolts, and then we'll pull the bumper assembly off. To remove these clips, you just pry up on the center, and then you can pull them out of the grille. Now we're going to use an 8mm socket to remove this bolt. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So now that we've removed all the retaining hardware that's holding this bumper on, we're going to go ahead and remove it from the car. You want to start off by just pulling on the corners to release it from the locking tabs. Do that on both sides. Now once we have the corners pulled off, we're just going to pull up on these tabs. Pull this whole bumper section off. Now since there's fog lights on this, we're going to need to disconnect those as well. Just spin them a quarter turn counterclockwise. And then we can remove the bumper. So to remove the headlights, we have 3 10mm. One is up top, 2 are down below. We're gonna go ahead and remove this upper radiator shield. Same thing, to remove these push pins, you're just gonna pry up on the center. Once you get the center pin out enough, you can pry the rest of it out. And once you get all 4 pins out, we can go ahead and lift this up, set it aside. The factory has a little push pin here and a 10mm. You want to pry up on the center section, and then you'll be able to remove that little push pin. We're going to take our 10mm out. Then we'll take the 2 10s out of the bottom. Once you have those out, you go ahead and remove our light. To disconnect the headlight bulb, we're going to press this gray tab in, wiggle the plug off. For this one, we're going to unclick that. Since we're going to replace this with a different bulb, we'll just let that hang. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. We're going to pull this little tab up, pull the push pin out, then we'll use our 10mm socket to remove that bolt. We're going to remove the 2 10mm from the bottom. Once we have those out, we can pull the housing out. Same thing, press the tab in on the gray plug for the headlight bulb, pull it off, and we'll disconnect this, turning it counterclockwise, and we'll let that bulb hang. So now we're getting ready to install these new lights. We do have some wires that we'll need to hook up. We also have a bulb to replace this stock bulb. So first we're going to unwrap this harness since we want to expose some of these wires. I'm just going to cut a section of that off. Now you need to find a ground wire to splice these 2 in, and then we'll find a power wire to splice the 2 new white wires into. These wires control the halos and the LEDs on the new lights. So first step, we're going to pull this bulb out. We'll replace it with the new bulb. Then we'll get our connectors. So we're going to twist these 2 wires together. Insert them into our clip. Once we've got that where we want it, we're going to squeeze on the pin. Then we'll wrap that around, click it, and then we'll wire up the negative side. Once again, you're going to twist these wires together. Install our clamp on the negative side. Insert our wires. Now we're ready to bolt these in. All right, so first thing, we're going to reinsert this bulb in the corner. Turn that clockwise, lock it in. Then we'll plug our new headlight switch in. Making sure that that clicks. Fit those in, and then we'll get our bolts in. Get our bolts started underneath. Remember to put our pin back in, lock that in, and we'll tighten down the top bolt, and then we'll do the same thing for the other side. So now that we have our new headlights wired up and installed, it'd be a good idea at this point in time to make sure that all the lights work before you get the bumper on. What you want to look for is these halos and these accent lights to light up. Since those all work, we'll go ahead and put the bumper on. So we're now ready to reinstall the bumper. We'll go ahead, set it up on the vehicle. Want to make sure that we get our top tabs hooked over. So if your vehicle is equipped with fog lights, before you get the bumper on, it'd be a good idea to plug those fog lights back in. Same thing, we're going to insert them, do a quarter turn clockwise, lock them in place, and we'll go ahead, get these tabs hooked on the top, and then we'll get the edges on. All right, so we're gonna get our bumper to wrap around this end. Once we get that in, I'm gonna get this top up in there. And that's just gonna click in like that. Same thing for the other side. We wanna get this bumper on the other side of this bracket and splash shield. Then we'll put this in, and then we'll get our screws back in here. Same thing for the other side. We're going to get our screws started, and we're going to use a 7mm wrench. We'll tighten those up. Next step, we're going to reinsert our two 8mm bolts. Then we'll place our upper radiator cover back onto the vehicle. You're going to want to place it a little further back and slide it into the bumper. Once we have that in place, we can go ahead, start inserting our push pins. We have our 4 in the front. So now that we have the whole top side taken care of, we're going to raise the vehicle back up in the air. We'll plug some necessary connectors in, get that splash shield back on, and then we'll put the vehicle down. First thing, we're going to reinsert this sensor back into the bumper. Then we'll reconnect the side markers. We'll insert that, turn it clockwise a quarter turn, it'll click in. So once you've made sure that you've plugged everything back in, you're ready to install the underneath splash shield. So we'll go ahead, set that up into the bumper first. push the two ends up, click them in place, and then we'll get our bolts in. We're going to use our 7mm socket. We'll reinsert the 7mm screws. Now that we have our 5 back screws in, we're going to go ahead and get these 4 front ones in. So after you have everything back together, you can go ahead and close your hood, because you're done.
Just to wrap things up here, if you're the owner of a 2010 to 2012 GT or V6, you might want to check out the Axial Black Projector Dual Halo LED headlights, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.